Well, let me introduce you to theme websites. If, like me, you're a huge fan of those girly, cosmic, scary, sci-fi, or even those dark themes websites and apps, something that brings a lot of emotion to your first experience as a user, let's bring out the creative coder that hides in you. And no hate for minimalistic designs, but we like it spicier. I began to learn website development 2 years ago, and now I'm finally able to center a div, but this is how my coding project looked like. Disappointing, right? After a few drops, I came back with something I actually wanted to do, offering immersive experiences. And this is how I came with the idea of coding theme websites. And today I am making you a simple introduction to start making them. Let's start with what you need to know before considering making your theme websites. You must know how to create a website using HTML and CSS. And don't worry, you don't need to be a pro, just the basics is fine. But just so you know, the more skills you have, the more creative you allow yourself to be. Knowing JavaScript could be a plus, so your creativity isn't narrowed by your technical skills. Maybe having basic design skills is preferable, but this is not today's topic, so I won't talk much about it. But if you want a detailed video about web design, let me know in the comments. Okay, now here's the whole process for making your theme websites. I'll go through all these steps with you, so don't cry. Once you start it, the rest will flow. Let's start now our first project. Choosing a concept will require you a pen and a piece of paper. Yes. Only this. Take your piece of paper. What I like to do is writing a bunch of themes on the right side and a bunch of coding projects on the left side. If you're a beginner in website development, I recommend you taking all these coding projects that everyone on earth recommends you to do to the point that you find them boring to code, because making them spicier and adding your personal touch to them, even if they will not be in the top 10 most visited websites, will make your learning process funnier and more interesting, as you will also be developing your design skills as much as your coding skills. Now we will try to match projects and themes. To do so, you can just write down what associations sparkle when you think about them. Is it pirates note-taking app, horror theme timer, girly cinema tickets? Don't hesitate to give them names, because they are your babies. It will also help you feel motivated and have a vision of what it could look like. Once you choose your concept, you have to move on to the inspiration part. And here, my favorite tool is Pinterest. But here's the trap I always fell in when looking for inspiration. Doom scrolling. We all know that this happens way too much when looking for something on Pinterest. And to avoid that, I created a strategy. Write down what elements you need to look for, fonts, buttons, assets. Allow a limited amount of pictures for each element. I like to keep it around 2 to 3 pictures, and then you can start searching. Next, let's see what prototyping tools we can use. Wireframes to have digital, precise, and interactive prototypes. Drawing or editing softwares, but your prototype won't be interactive at all. And the last tool, a pen and a piece of paper. Again, what I personally use most are the first and the last options, because drawing by hand helped me having a greater overview of my project and invite me not taking care of the details at this stage of the process. Then I use wireframes to make a cleaner version of my drawings with more context and details. I try to make a simple layout because it will allow us more flexibility for later and not make the user feel overwhelmed or lost. Once we got our prototype ready, we have to start making the assets. And here my problem was, wait, I can't draw at all. The problem was certainly coming from me looking at incredible artists and thinking I could do the same. We might have gone through the same disappointment that day. But what makes an immersive experience is not how good looking the drawings are, but how much they tell us about the atmosphere. We want our drawings to communicate the atmosphere and emotion to the user, not necessarily being good looking. But now, how do we make our drawings speak to the user? First, you need to ask yourself, what makes my theme recognizable? Then you're gonna list every small element that adds value to your theme. I will use the cosmic theme as an example. What I think adds value to a cosmic theme are stars, planets, rockets, UFO, astronauts, blue, purple, black, and white. For this part, you can also ask ChatGPT to give you a bunch of words and only keep those that you think can be interesting to draw. A key point to make the user understand your theme is to be clear and simple. What we want to do is to take each word of our list and sketch them in less than 10 seconds. Why? Because this is how we get straight to the point, valuing communication over aesthetic. You can try sketching each element multiple times to find what works best for you. And then you can add details to your drawings to find your style. Don't forget that small elements shouldn't take more than 10 lines to draw. Now here are the tools you can use to draw and render. Procreate, Blender, Sprite, Adobe Illustrator, and Figma. And no, I won't recommend you asking ChatGPT because even if it takes less time, you won't value your work as much as you would if you did your entire project yourself, and asking ChatGPT won't get you any design skills. A little note about colors. Don't overthink it. Go on Pinterest again and find the palettes you're looking for. Now that we got our sets ready, we have to make them fit in our prototype. Here too, the key point is to experiment and to make changes if needed. There we go! Once you're happy with your designs, it's time to code it. This tutorial is now over. I hope it helped you getting more creative in your coding project as much as it helped me staying consistent because I had fun when making them. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tutorials and like the video if you found it helpful. I am a third-year computer science and design student who always felt like I was lacking coding skills, so I started gathering people who felt like me or who just wanted to learn more about coding and design on IG. And now I am studying here on YouTube, and I hope we can exchange together and learn more. Bye bye!